Medieval fighting is a fast-growing sport deeply rooted in history. And we've already spent our time with the Knights of America, but this time we step into the list with the Knights of London, where it all began.
In fact, our entire crew, the skeptical William, youthful Philip, and both Chris and I take our turn against the locals and a world champion fighter. We even engage in a civil war to determine which off-the-cuff warrior is superior.
Where is he?
Stick around until the end to see who comes out on top.
And fight!
Will it be me, someone who has previously spent time in the list?
Or will I, by the grace of God, take the crown?
Our journey started as we pulled up to the battleground. Immediately, the local knights hauled their equipment down to the list. So is this like a pretty exciting moment of the day as you're getting down to the list?
You still get nervous. It never stops. I think if you stop getting nervous, I think it's probably time to call it a day. There's always a concern of someone getting hurt. You are hitting each other with a lump of metal.
My little brother's been knocked out a few times, been hit over the head with an axe, and he's just fallen to the floor, completely knocked out.
Every single week somebody's got a bad knee or a bad elbow or a bad back, and you never really get a time to properly heal, do you?
Yeah, you do take hard hits. My first time wearing armour, I got knocked out for a couple of seconds because I didn't really know what I was doing.
And here you are, but you're back in it.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be some sort of mental to do this sport, definitely.
The upcoming day was to be filled with events. Competitors would compete in soft fights, focusing more on technique and agility, and then heavy battles would ensue with full armor combat, tournament style. With multiple teams showing up to the event, it was a time to prove what they're worth in the best way they knew. Absolute carnage.
Alright, so this is where we were going to place an ad for medievalextreme.com.
Check it out today. Find a sick falchion or an axe, or honestly like a helmet. Maybe some titanium plate legs.
And while they still are operating and taking orders, which includes free worldwide shipping by the way, they are currently fighting for their lives because Medieval Extreme is a Ukrainian company. And they agreed to sponsor this video before the invasion, but right now they need your help. So go buy some Buhurt equipment from their website, medievalextreme.com, or donate directly to their fund, which goes to equipping Ukrainian soldiers against the invasion with things like helmets or bulletproof plates. The link to donate is in the description.
Once down to the grounds, all of the knights prepared for battle.
So I've been training for just over 2.5 years.
And is this an exciting time of the day, or is this a moment where you're a bit nervous for what's going to happen?
This is my calm time because I've got something to focus on. I just do the thing. It's when I start getting all of my kit on is when I start shaking.
So you have got an armor problem this morning.
Last tournament, I took a axe blow to the shoulder, and that's blown the rivet off, so I'm just replacing the rivets that were there before.
So you're a bit of a blacksmith?
It's something that you pick up with the sport to do running repairs and things, because there's the potential failure in tournaments and things, and you want to be able to repair your own stuff as quickly as possible.
This is my 5th time, I think, in armour.
Oh, so you're fresh.
I'm pretty new, yeah. During COVID and lockdown, where everything, I think for a lot of people it was a hard time. So when that sort of all ended, I thought I want to come out and do something different, get out there and see the world a bit, enjoy life, And I stumbled across a show one evening called Night Fight on History.
Right, Paul the Barbarian.
Any of you guys going to sort of try the soft kit fighting at all, or?
I think we're going to have some people do some armored combat.
Okay, that'd be cool.
The first event of the day was soft kit fighting, which our cameraman Philip unknowingly was signed up for. So excited.
So you've got 2 legs there, up there, you've got a groin guard there as well, you definitely want to put that on.
Public groin guard.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So this one here is going to be Philip and Glenn.
Philip, against all odds, won his first fight and moved on to the next round.
You need to work on your technique, I think.
Oh yeah,
Supposed to hold the camera and not fight.
As he prepared to enter the list once again, we caught up with the remaining fighters assembling their armor. This guy is somewhat responsible for the sport taking off in the area, as he helped bring full armor combat to London. So you kind of helped bring this sport to the UK, though?
Yeah, we were in 2012. Yeah, we were first who went to international tournament as a part of UK team.
So HMB is historical medieval battles, and you have ICMF.
IMCF, International Medieval Combat Federation.
Okay, and you have armored combat sports in the States, and they're all similar but different. How do they compare to each other?
Different rules, like different set of rules. At the time, as I recall, first was HMB, and it was organized like in Russia, yeah, and like they got like good big sponsors in Russia. And IMCF was more as like open source, and also when it was organized like to compete with HMB, because like they were dominating, and some teams didn't like the rules, so then IMCF was organized.
While the sport is in the process of growing, it's hard to ignore the bygone times of knight fighting in England. For that, we're going to need a little history with Chris.
Though knighthood is still around today, things were quite a bit different back in medieval times. One notable difference in the early stages of knighthood was their armor. At first, knights would be seen cloaked in chainmail. Great for protection from sword slashes, but not as effective at stopping arrows and blunt forces. As time went on, a few metal pieces were added to their dress. Then more, then too much. Eventually, their armor evolved into the full plate suits we often associate with warriors of the time. The path to knighthood began at around the age of 7. However, at this age, these knights-to-be were mainly just errand boys. Eventually, they would train with horses and imitation weapons, kind of like how newer competitors of this event use foam swords. At around 14, they picked up real equipment. Then, the knightly hopefuls would have been classified as squires, whose duties were similar to squires in modern-day competition. They would assist full-fledged knights in armor prep and maintenance. A few years after, successful squires would be dubbed knights.
At this point, the full armor combat was beginning. The rules are simple.
The idea of the sport is to get the other team to the floor before they get you to the floor.
Before anything commences, it is common practice to conduct a confidence test, which is basically a huge blow to your skull that reminds you probably won't die in the upcoming competition.
Yeah, you're good.
I hate getting hit in the back of the head.
Unlike Hollywood, swords do not cut through plate armor. You need to kick, you need to punch, you need to throw your opponent to the ground to get the sword through. So what you're about to see is very violent, very aggressive, but it's the closest thing to the real deal.
Most people bring their own armor and weapons to events like these,
many of which are purchased from Medieval Extreme.
Medieval Extreme specializes in all things armor. They forge axes, falchions, and any other piece of equipment one needs to get started in medieval battle sports. Visit their site, medievalextreme.com, to shop for their fleet of period-accurate equipment and weapons.
Ready? Fight!
The first rounds were finished, and after seeing what the Londoners had to offer, we were reminded that this sport may have a heightened sense of significance over competitors in America. Here, while these aren't entirely reenactments, fighters are paying tribute to the real warriors that occupied these lands hundreds of years ago.
Especially if you were into like King Arthur's literature or things like that. It's just crazy to be able to put an armor on and to fight.
Even back then, however, these knights would battle for sport in ways that quite possibly look like the events happening today.
Take the knight William Marshall, for example. He would compete in tournaments of hundreds, possibly thousands. To this day, some regard him as the most iconic knight in England's history.
Back in real time, we were surprised when our videographer William, the reserved one, decided to partake in the polearm division.
William literally said right before this that he would 100% never, ever, ever consider entering the list. For some reason, he just did, though.
Little did William know, his challenger has been to numerous international events and has even taken home the world champion title in Buhurt.
Guys ready? And fight! Seconds.
Come on, William. Oh, yeah.
That fight.
Oh, I want to see that slow-mo if you give me the head. Good fight.
Everyone all right?
Replay.
Unfortunately, though William had the heart, he didn't have what it took to move on to the next round. Philip, however, not fighting against any world champions, managed to make it to the final round in his soft battle.
And fight! Nice.
I feel like I'm gonna puke.
What's the review?
She's really fast. She's got, I don't know, she's just better. She's just fast and better. I don't know.
The day continued with the remainder of the competitions.
Ready? Fight!
Part of the sport, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then it was time for the thing we'd been waiting for all day.
Where is he?
Events like these only represent a few of the various different styles of medieval combat happening today.
All of these leagues, however, require the essentials: armor and weapons.
Medieval Extreme is a retailer that sells equipment that meets the standards for ACS, IMCF, HMB, and Buhurt supplies. Medieval Extreme's period-accurate weapons and armor can be purchased online at medievalextreme.com. Check out their selection and learn more about full contact battles. So I've had one day in the ring. I feel like I have a bit of an advantage over my competitor.
You talking shit yet?
In my back?
Yeah.
Chris is going down.
Have you ever done boxing?
I'm ready. I'm ready, baby.
Holy shit! Have you taken any hits in it yet? Any practice hits?
Roland smacked me in the face once.
Taking any body hits?
No.
Do you want it?
What? Excuse me, what?
Do you want to risk a girl hitting you?
What do you mean? Harris and I had a disagreement one time, and
this is where it gets resolved. Simon? So, what we're going to be doing is 1 minute round of pro fighting, and a minute off, and then we have another minute round, alright? What you can do within these fights is you can punch, you can kick, you can bite, you know, by all means. Yeah. What you can't do is you can't thrust, but you've got axes, so you haven't got to worry about that going through each other's helmets, so that's okay. What you can't also do is strike to the back of the neck, back of the knees, the feet, or crown jewels. Alright? Everyone happy with that? Guys ready? Timer ready? And fight! And fight! You go. 30 seconds left. Use the shield. Just punch shield. Stop! Oh, Jesus! Listen to the shout. You have to have a weapon in your hand. There you go. You want this? Did you not know you not had it?
I can't feel shit.
14 seconds left. Ready?
14 seconds.
Fight! Shield punch. Shield punch. Wait.
Bang.
Oh, stop!
Someone's got your weapon, eh?
Have a minute round break.
Oh my god.
Right.
Why is that so tiring?
Alright.
I know, I gotta.
At the moment,
I know.
You know, you don't want it to go in. Bang!
My entire body is just raging with adrenaline.
Oh, hold on, in this corner, come on, in the corner, arms up on each side. Use that height difference, go low, because his guard's up high. So, dummy, and then bring in, and then come back up.
Eyes to the centre. Eyes ready? Wait! Bring it in, swing it, come on! Hold that. Bring it. There you go. Now I'm going to take down. You'd have 3 points for that. 36 seconds. Eyes ready. Right! Forward, swing it! Put it down. Over that.
Go for the headbutt.
Headbutt.
Get the headbutt.
There you go. Head up. In for your nose. And you was worried we weren't going to give you enough for 2 minutes. So have another minute break and we'll see how you feel.
If you're doing good on the strikes, just try for a low one and surprise him. If everything's come in really high, you bring a low one in.
Get him in the side.
Yeah.
So, as you guys were going to do the scoring, presumably that's a tie round between the two and they need to go again, right?
Alright.
I'd say so. Final round. Eyes ready. Timer ready. Alright. Good.
Okay, turn around. Yeah. Okay, aim in the ribs, go on.
Put it down. Put it away. Put it away. That's it. Put it away. Go back.
Go back. Am I going back?
Right, break there.
Back.
Hit him. stab his weapon.
Oh, wait, why did you stop us?
Because he was hitting in the back of the knee and it's sort of stagnant. Fire's ready! Oh, I think final round. Fire's ready? And fight!
Go for it! Just go for it now!
Yeah! You good? How long? I think that's a good. Just 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left. Come on, guys, up you go.
Up you go. Up you go. Go on.
Think about how long it took you to get in this kit. You might as well get your money's worth. Wait!
Final kick, final kick. Go on.
Finish it.
Good. What are you doing?
10 seconds, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Get it out, boys. Get it out.
Stop, stop, stop.
Stop, boy. Everyone okay? You good?
Good, Harris?
You good?
Sit up.
Yeah. He's still breathing. You good?
I'm breathing.
Good, good.
We're done.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're
done. Is he dead? Just the rush of that 30-second mark. Yeah. Hearing there's 30 seconds left.
Just go for it.
There's like no time at all, but eternity. I don't exactly know what happened throughout the whole thing, but I have a lot of respect for you and what I saw out there today. Jeez, I'll tell you that. It's awesome. I love it. No winner.
Well, I'll let you guys to review the footage. I decided I wouldn't want to get involved in that.
Well, there might be some creative differences.
Well, depends on the editing, right?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments who you think won our Civil War, and be sure to subscribe to our channel to learn more about fascinating places and communities.
Oh, thank you very much.